Don't be scared about the English. That was the first thing. Hanging out with more people, it actually made me more comfortable and having my 2 feet on ground here. Something that I regret. Good question, dude. Good question. I feel like that accent gives more personality. Looking back from now, I've accomplished a lot of the things that I've set to myself. Is being consistent, consistent, setting your objectives. If you actually want to go, commit yourself first. My advice that I'll give is that the first few months they're rough. They're rough.
Welcome everyone to The Living Point, and today we're here with Vicente Allue, who moved from Santiago de Chile to the United States. And I really want to start with this first, which is you not only came to college to the United States, but you left your country as a teenager to go to high school first in Florida, and not a lot of people know about that. So probably I really want to dive deep into all that particular story, and I think you can inspire others. But first, Vicente, welcome again. And I'd like for you to introduce yourself without mentioning your name, last name, and your current role. Who are you?
Well, thanks. First things first. Just want to say thank you for the invitation. Obviously, lovely talking to you. Who I am without saying my name. Well, I'm a very disciplined person, very passionate for things I like, very positive as well. Seeing the things, leaving the negative things to the side every time. Very social as well. I think
Nice.
one thing for coming here and from this changing culture has made me be more open, accepting different cultures, trying to know people and get the
Interesting.
most out of them every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we jump into all your whole culture shift, let's just put it that way, before coming to the United States, first in the East Coast, right, Florida, and then you move into the West Coast, and I think, well, you're currently at UCLA, which I have so many different questions to ask you about that. But let's just start. How did you start your life, like back in Chile? Like, how did you grow up? Were you playing rugby there? How did you learn English? How was all that growing up?
Well, so yeah, I was born and raised in Chile, and well, I can start that. My parents put me in this American college, high school, where they kind of spoke English in there, but mostly in the English classes. So just learned the basics in there. I was raised with my friends over there. It was a beautiful thing that is different from the United States. That here in the United States, most of the high schools they're separated by elementary, middle, and high school, all different.
Yeah.
In Chile, you go from pre-kinder all the way to senior, and I feel that it's a massive thing in terms of relations. You build up you know everybody in your grade, and you build very good relations. So starting then, I went till sophomore year, so second year high school, and then I decided to go to New Zealand, and
No
for
way.
6 months for exchange student. My dad obviously always supported me the idea of going out of the country, discover the
How
world.
old were you, Vicente?
I turned 17 over there. Yeah.
Okay, so and you were already in the United States in high school, right?
Oh, no. This was
Okay,
before coming
back
back.
in Chile.
Chronologically, raised up in Chile, went to Santiago College, very good high school. And
Nice.
then my sophomore year, my parents decided to go to Florida, but we're in the process of the visa. So
Got it.
it kind of took like a whole year. It was between starting COVID. So
Got it.
it took a bit of time. And for me to do just take advantage of that time, my dad gave me the chance to go to New Zealand, play rugby, learn more English there. It was kind of tricky accent, to be honest. To
Yeah, I
understand and
wonder because
everything.
I mean I'm used to. I mean, as both rugby players, I used to listen to the All Blacks whenever they got an interview or whatever. Man, you just can't understand anything. Even
And it was
Australians, right?
the best part of that is that I lived with a host family, so I was
Nice.
basically exposed to English every day. And yeah, and after those 6 months, I came into we moved to Florida when the visa got approved and everything. And I moved to Boca Raton, which is part in the north of Florida, kind of like 45 minute an hour north from Miami. Because my
Wow.
parents, they wanted more the American culture, because Miami is
Yeah,
the
it's quite a
state
mix,
is
right?
America, dude. So yeah, I did high school there for a year. Very interesting. very interesting, and it was a big part of this whole process. I feel
And
because
what do you mean, Vicente? You just came back from an experience in New Zealand, living at a house, at a household house, right, with a family, and then you just then go to like high school in Florida. How did you used to do your laundry? Where were you eating? You know, those simple questions, daily life that for a student or for someone with, you know, like his that you were what 17, 18 years old, right?
yeah,
How did you deal with all that?
I mean, in New Zealand, well, in Florida, I was living with my parents as well, so
Got it.
it was kind of easy in those terms. But it was more interesting in adapting, adapting to the culture.
Interesting.
Coming back from, well, New Zealand was only boys high school, Christchurch Boys High. Switching this to 3,600 high school students, only high schools from freshman to senior year, 3,000 students. It's my I remember my first day. I got late actually, and there was this huge line for the students to like, oh yeah, get your late pass for class. That was my first day. It's like it's so like the heat, the weather is so hot.
I bet. How were you dealing with like English? So I guess you grew up, and you mentioned that back in
Yeah,
Santiago, but
so
how were you feeling?
it was quite hard at the beginning to make friends with American because that was the hardest part. But it was easy in the way that there were so many South American students as well. So I remember going to this first class. I saw this guy spoke with a bit of an accent. Say, "Where you from?" Puerto Rico. Boom. That's my like.
Interesting. There you go, bestie.
And he like introduced me because he was third year, so he's been there for
And
2 years already.
yeah, and Vicente, how were you? Let me ask you. I'm just trying to articulate everything you're saying and your story so far. Is it like I understand, kind of like based on your like family's decision, right? It's like you were kind of like forced to like to do all these things as a teenager. Like with 17 years old, how were you reacting to it? I mean, because like personally, in my story, I really wanted to come to the United States and like study and play rugby, right? So probably that was a different mindset or ways of approaching things for you. How was that?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I totally missed that part. So my dad wanted to continue his business up here in the U.S. and Florida was the best point for moving things to Chile, bringing here. So my dad always wanted to come to Florida, and I was the only one from three, my two other brothers, my brother and sister, that decided to move with my parents to come here because my parents did really wanted to, and I just kind of make the choice. It was kind of
You go with the
easy choice
flow.
to make. It was easy choice to make actually because it was in the middle
Okay.
of COVID, so it was staying in Chile, doing online stuff, or going to Florida where they didn't care much about COVID. You know,
Interesting. Following up with that, what was the most hardest thing to leave behind? Yeah, what were you most afraid of?
I think my friends, yeah, leaving those because I built up a really strong relationship with them, and not seeing them again, and just like going by myself, it was going to be tough as I had so many memories with them. So like, and throughout the time, the first few months in Florida, I end up like thinking about it. Like, this is not the thing that I want. This is not
Damn.
something that I like. And so it was very hard for me to accept that and just move.
So, based on what you're saying right now, did you ever think then on like going back? Really want to
Yeah.
go back? And did you say that to your parents?
I no, I actually did not. I just saved it to myself because it was throughout a time of like reflection. I don't like taking decisions like just constantly like that. I like staying calm, thinking about it, think about like the decision, situations,
Sure.
pros and cons, and obviously going back, it was just going to be the normal life that I had, you know. And I already saw myself going to college there, hanging out with my friends, doing this stuff, playing rugby there, soccer maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was already in Florida, I took the biggest step, you know. I took the first step there, which is the hardest one, almost. But
I
then the
love that.
second one's still hard because it's try to see this culture, this big change. in a positive perspective, what you can take advantage of, you know, what you can take of this positive things in the future. You don't know anything. You know, you start learning throughout the time, but then you have to have good expectations and just get goals, good goals to your objectives to accomplish throughout that
Very
time.
interesting what you're saying. And so let me ask you, where did you get, or how did you construct, how did you build that type of mindset or like ways of thinking?
So first it was trying to don't be scared about the English. That was the first thing. Because and it's still very hard for me. Like I don't have a perfect English. I still now and then just say some mispronounced
Come on, both
words.
of us, and even the fact
Yeah,
that we're speaking
makes
English
it
right now.
makes it a bit uncomfortable. They ask you right away where you from and all that. You kind of have that anxious and um you don't want to commit that mistake in front of people. And like going through that and hanging out with more people, it actually made me more comfortable and having my 2 feet on ground here. Because the fact of hanging out with people, still you see different perspectives and you feel more accepted as well, you know?
Sure.
And
Like more
then
diversity as well. Like put
exactly.
yourself out there, right? That's in a
I,
nutshell, I'd
and I
say.
think one thing that helped me a lot, it was going to this men's club in Boca Raton where I was 18 by that time, still 18, I think. Yeah. Mm. I was just hanging out with people that had the jobs already graduated. It was a men's division. They were very like they accept me as a family right away. They were like, "Oh, you're from Chile, dude. That's sick. Boom. How you play rugby? Great.
There
We
you
love
go.
it." So
Perfect. No, yeah. No,
yeah,
I love that. And so now that you just drop that answer, I think that's perfect just to continue with your journey a little bit. How did you end up in UCLA playing rugby? Let me re-ask that. How did you end up? Or you moved from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast.
so I'm gonna say my little loophole, which it doesn't look good, but it depends on what I do in the future. It might look
Yep.
good. So, because I after this 1 year in Florida, I think I thought to myself, well, I want to continue playing rugby. Rugby in Florida is not the best state. I want to get a degree from a good university while being here, taking advantage of that. So I was in contact with my friend Simon from Chile, who was looking forward to do the same thing. And it was this by the end of my junior year, so I had to make the decision either to continue one more year and then transfer to university, or maybe do something else. And I was always open. And then Simon, my friend, told me about this community college, Santa Monica,
All right.
and you can get accepted without a degree. You can take advantage with a high school degree because
Yeah, a
high
typical
schoolers,
community college. Community.
yeah, they high schoolers take community college classes so they can get ahead of their major requirements or whatever.
Nice.
And then they told him that you can take Santa Monica classes, do the requirements for your major, and then transfer it to all UCs, only University of California's, and they won't ask for your high school degree. So it's like, all right, I
I get
can
a
take
chance
it.
right here.
I
I
can take
cannot
it.
miss this opportunity, right?
I can just don't do one more year in high school and just go straight ahead to Santa Monica and then hopefully transfer to UCLA. And then was when my Boca Raton coach, rugby coach,
Okay.
knew the UCLA coach, Harry Bennett. So he put me in contact. He was like, "Yeah, we have this. You can train with us, play with us, but not officially through the second side."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then
I
that's
love that.
when I grabbed my things and moved all the way to California from
I love
Costa.
that. And I like to stop you, Vicente. You just mentioned something that I really, really relate to. And I think it's the importance of context, right? I think who you know makes a difference. And so the
Yeah.
fact that you just said that your Boca Raton coach knew the UCLA rugby coach and somehow there was a connection there, so probably made it easier for you to get in. What's your point of view on that?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that I've learned here by being this 5 years that I've been here is that networking, knowing people, as you said, putting yourself in these situations, it's always positive, bring good things. And obviously, yeah, they it gave me the path where it actually rugby as a club sport in UCLA, it's not that big, it's not varsity, it doesn't give you scholarships or things like that. So But it was something to put in my application. I was
Yeah,
involved in UCLA, so because the day that I arrived, I went straight to the training, see what's up, meet the
nice,
guys. Everyone was
nice.
very chilled. I loved the guys right away.
Love it.
Started
Pretty
hanging
pretty
out.
diverse, right? Quite
Very
international
diverse.
squad, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of internationals as well, so that's
Well, we
good.
gotta bring them all into the podcast. You gotta introduce me to some of them.
So definitely. And so yeah, like immediately felt connected with the UCLA family. And so
Sweet.
yeah, going back, meeting people, getting to know people, it actually is one of the main things that you
And
gotta.
so, if you can share now a little bit about, are you still in UCLA, like enrolled?
Yeah, I'm currently enrolled.
Got it. So is this like your senior year or
I'm not rising
it's
senior,
kind
so
of?
it's gonna be a
Got
senior.
it.
I got
And
2 points.
so, how has the experience been so far? Like compared to, I mean, I guess high school somehow, but like or still. Oh well, compared to Santa Monica Community
Yeah, compared to
College,
Santa Monica. So
right? Like in terms of classes, what can you share? What's your major? And then I'm being a student athlete, right? It's not
yeah,
easy.
so yeah, I mean, for people that trying to move uh to the United States, they want to study in a big college, and they don't know how. They don't have the grades for from high school, but they still want to come here. I recommend community college, not specifically Santa Monica. Santa Monica is the number one transfer school for OUCs.
Wow.
So if you want to come to somewhere in California, you want to choose Santa Monica. But a community college is a really, really good way because one, they're flexible, very flexible in terms of taking classes.
Yeah, and financially as well.
Yeah, and financially, it's half the price of a 4 year university. And the only one thing is that most of like the people, the most students in Santa Monica or in community colleges, maybe they are all like locked in their thing, in their studies. They want to get a good grade because you need to get a good grade if you go to Santa Monica or a community college. So they're all focused on their own world, maybe. So that was thing like I was great having UCLA right next to it, where I can just go to class here and then spend my time training there, going to the gym there, hanging out with the people at UCLA.
Nice.
So that was very good. But in general, community college is a really good alternative.
Love it. And now, Vicente, in terms of, we've talked a little bit about rugby, and then we can get into trainings and all that. But I like to touch a little bit on like academics and all that. I know you've done some internships. You have worked in Chile, like in, if I'm not wrong, based on my research, sort of like mergers and acquisitions or like finance related.
Yeah.
So, what can you walk me through like an LVO or a DCF? No, I'm kidding.
uh, you got.
No, but if you can share like why finance, how you ended up like or getting an internship,
I totally
how
forgot
was
to
that?
mention major as well. So yeah, I'll start with the major. I'm a major in political science, and yeah, I mean, I political science is pretty interesting in UCLA. All the classes, and I always like took it more through the economic side, politics and economics. International relations. Very cool. You stay up to date with news and everything. But well, through my dad had a business. I was always like business orientated. So with the poli sci major and going into a finance industry, I that's why I did
Very interesting.
corporate finance internship in Chile, which it went pretty well. Learned a lot. It was pretty long. It was for 7 months. Loved the team. I had still in contact with them, so that's great. And yeah,
Nice. And if I may ask you, you just mentioned like your dad's business or family business. mm, as someone like as a son of someone who's a business son, what's like and as you were growing up, what are the things that you learn like from someone managing a business? It's pretty much is like their identity is their life.
yeah.
What do you learn from it, right? What do you absorb? I guess a lot of pros, a lot of cons.
So from what I saw from my dad, great person, and is basically more of discipline, waking up early, getting there, being the first one there, and doing everything that has to be done correctly, and being a voice. When you own your own business, you have to tell people what to do and everything, sort of manage, and have the social skill, to tell people in a way they have to do it, because it's the right thing and to achieve the goals and everything. Yeah, learning from the mistakes as well. And yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Interesting. Right. Very interesting what you're saying. Yeah. At the end of the day, like in short, it's all about relationships and management, right? Kind of besides the technical aspect of things and industry knowledge. And then, so let me now shift gears a little bit. After all of these that we just talked at a very general, like cool in Florida, Christchurch, LA. Now, are you currently in California?
Currently in California. Yep.
Sweet. And so, um, after all of this long journey, probably what, 4 to 5 years, kind of.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let me ask you: are you the same Vicente that left Santiago a few years ago?
No, totally not. We left that guy behind, man. We left him behind. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the process, when going back when I told you when I was in Florida and asking myself whether to stay, go back to Chile. I stayed because I wanted to see myself in the future here. I wanted to improve in English, trying to get a job in here, get into a good university. And looking back from now, I've accomplished a lot of the things that I've set to myself. So,
Interesting.
but it's not easy, It's not easy. You go ups and downs. And well, obviously, you got a massive thanks for my family, the support, all the emotional support from that end, which is definitely not easy. It's just you calling my friends and all of that, but it's being consistent, consistent in your objectives. And I feel that today, even though I'm not satisfied, I ask myself, like, I still got way more, to explore. And there's so much going on.
Of that mindset.
I want to like trying to get a job now, all the applications and all that. But like, there's some point where I have to acknowledge all what I've done, be proud of it as well.
Absolutely. Sometimes you gotta just how we usually say, like back in South America, probably like in terms of football, like you gotta stop, like put the ball under your feet and take look up and let's
Look
see where
around.
to go
Yeah,
now, right? And
exactly.
so I think you just mentioned, like, looking back at your journey, that I would like to ask you, and you mentioned that you've learned and grew and grown a lot from all of this, but is there something that you regret?
That I regret. So something that I regret. Good question, dude. Good question. The one thing that came into my mind really quick is the being afraid of the English, of the accent, because I feel I like when I first moved here, I don't want to show off or nothing, but I have sort of a good accent, and
Yep.
I naturally had it before, and like whenever my friends come to visit or any someone from not here, they have an accent and they're not
Yes.
like kind of proud of it. I feel like that accent gives more personality. Yeah, you
I
know.
agree, 100%.
So the one thing that I regret is that in high school and like throughout the first few years, I was so shy, so scared. My personality changed. You know,
Got it.
it was not the real me. Every time that I went back to Chile, it was like, oh, this is me. Speaking my language, being myself. Because at the
That's
same
so
time,
important.
when you move and you're learning a new language, you have a certain vocabulary.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
to speak according to that. You can't
Yeah.
express yourself the same.
Wow.
So you have to just forget about it. Forget about that people will laugh, will people have judged you about it.
Whatever.
Forget about that. Your accent, it is yours. It is what it is. It came
Man,
with you.
yeah, it's who you are, bro.
Exactly. That's who you are, and you'll
I
build it through. You'll build it.
I love it a lot. Yeah, and actually, and I would even say, like, based on my experience with, like, well, work experiences and just traveling and all that, it's who you are. Again, you gotta be proud about it, and also, it's something you can leverage.
Yep.
I think, bro, you just, I mean, you're able to speak two language or more. And as long as you can communicate and articulate ideas and get stuff done, right? I think that's the name of the game, you know, rather than
Exactly. Yeah.
being having a perfect English or perfect, right? Like what is that? But yeah, no, very very interesting. So let me ask you, mm, after everything we have talked, what would you tell someone or a little kid from Santiago who wants to leave your country? What advice or tips would you have for that kid?
So the first advice is leave the negative thoughts away. Go with a clear mindset. So if you actually want to go, commit yourself first. No, there it can't be regrets afterwards, you know. And at least take a year, you know, get that mindset so you can come into the U.S. and you won't even know what to expect. You know, you might have some expectations that you create back home from I don't know video CC, social media, but it's way different being here, you know, and the day to day. And my advice that I'll give is that the first few months they're rough, dude. They're rough. They're the most important ones. Gotta be locked in. Even though you don't hate it, find a way. Find a way to love it.
And it's like the advice would be, man, you just gotta live through it, like you gotta experience it. There is
It's,
nothing that probably you can tell
the
him
thing
or
is that
that
you gotta
person.
prepare yourself mentally for that. Most people are not mentally prepared for that. You know, it's a big change, leaving your family, leaving your friends and everything. So
Yeah, culture,
exactly
everything.
after like committing to that, prepare yourself to don't enjoy it like the whole time. There's gonna be times where you're
For
gonna be
sure.
down and you won't like it. You won't fit into that community or place,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
So
And so now going off of that, what was your first or based on all the ones you have, because I think you have many, what was your true living point?
I think my living point was moving from Florida to Santa Monica to to California. That was because I mean Christchurch was a great experience, but I was still 17. I didn't realize. I mean, I it gave me a sort of realization of
A warm up.
you know, sort of warm up, traveling, discovering new parts, you know, different cultures and everything. But then when I separated from my family, because I came to California by myself, so it was like, all right, this is me and myself, you know.
You, the mirror, and that's
And
it.
yeah, exactly, myself again. So at that point, everything changed. You know, I had to do everything by myself, learn to do everything, which obviously, um, I'm very thankful. My mother always taught me how to do your dishes, you know, basic stuff, do your bed every time, cleaning, doing laundry, keeping it clean, you know.
And
So
so Vinny, you mentioned a lot your parents. If you have them right here in front of you, what would you tell them? And what would you be
lo
grateful
amo
for?
mucho, lo amo mucho. I love them a
Bueno,
lot.
muy bueno.
Thanks them. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to them, I'm here actually. So and obviously that one of my goals should pay back. You know, pay back this with time with them, love. You
Yeah,
know,
I guess that's very interesting because I think we always feel that we all got that same feeling somehow, right?
yeah.
And at the end, like they don't want anything like financially or like
No,
whatever.
yeah,
It's just probably
financially,
like they just want time with us in some in some
exactly.
way, and that we care about them as well. But that's kind of we gotta deal with. But everyone goes through that, right? So it's quite interesting. And so last question, Beanie, and then I'll let you do your thing. If you had to define your journey in one word or one sentence, what would that?
Find my journey. I'll say it in one word. Could be perseverance
There you
because
go, my boy.
you gotta be consistent with what you're doing. And even though the mistakes comes, learn from them. Because and even you might do them twice. You can't do them 3 times though. That's the thing. There's a limit for the mistakes. But seeing mistakes as something positive. Being friend with failure, you know? Failure is gonna be right there. It's nothing is gonna go perfect, you know? So you have to be persistent every time and yeah, just look yourself out there and know that you'll do it and tell yourself, manifest, write it down, you know, be
Love it,
persistent,
man.
persistent with the habits as well. Like I've been waking up, stretch, just do
Oh yeah,
a couple things in the morning that becomes a habit.
love it.
Whatever new habit you learn you want to do is going to come easy as you already know to do one habit. So,
No,
yeah.
love it, man. That you're just dropping gems for everyone out there. Now I just feel like energized and I want to go do my thing. I know, love it, love it. And so, well, that's kind of the end of our chat or conversation.
Okay.
Vinny, it was a pleasure. I don't know if you would like to add anything else. Please feel free to
No,
share.
no. I mean, I'm pretty sure you leave my social media in there, and like, cause afterwards, feel free to chat if you have any
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, just people if they were listening regarding California, I kind of feel like I could be some sort of help, give you a certain perspective, one-on-ones. I don't know if you want to hear my more in detail
Oh
specific
yeah.
questions. Feel free
Yeah,
to
I'll put
ask.
your contacts right
Yeah,
there and for people to
of
reach out to
course,
you and
always
rugby,
try to help.
whatever it is. Love it, man.
Yeah,
Love that mindset. Thank you very much, bro. Hopefully we see each other in person soon, right?
soon, and
See you,
maybe
man.
another
Thanks.
episode.
There you go. Yeah, in a few months, years. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Love it, man.
Right,
All right.
man.
Thank you.
That's
Bye bye.